Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic Gathering online league. We're back once again with Eldrazi Ramp, specifically Temur Eldrazi Ramp on the draw for game one. This hand would be really top deck heavy. I mean, it's not bad. It's what, turn 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have better mulligans. I say that, let me find this. Okay, so we can drop Breaker. The question is, do we drop Return or we drop the Command? Command's currently not playable where a land is able to play the Return. We do have Null Drift, so we can dig deeper. For command, if we are playing against energy, though, the return feels really good. I'll drop the command, reveal the Devourer, and pass. Let's see what we're up against. Windswept Teeth, fetch. No fetch. Our Destiny trigger. There's a land, so we will grab a land. And go Utopia Sprawl. On. Kind of want a commercial district, so I'm going to go blue here. And pass. Fetch. This feels like Storm. Well, okay, so it could be Storm, could be the Mirror, actually. Could be Eldrazi Ramp versus Eldrazi Ramp. Stomping Grounds does start to feel that way even more. Could also be Valakut Scapeshift. Starting to feel like Valakut Scapeshift. Ooh, this could be a problem. We could Null Drift here. And what a Null Drift. Trigger. Evoked. And pass. And pass. We'll rumble, maybe E-Temp. As we need to get rid of Ren and 6. Utopia Sprawl, red. Windswept Teeth, fetch. They still need a Dryad. Q Dryad. Oh. I wasn't expecting that, I'll be honest. I was expecting Scapeshift, not Seismic Assault. Huh. Okay. That is interesting. In that case, I will play Talisman of Impulse. Malevolent Rumble. Emrakul the Promised End is promising, though it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think we do go with Null Drift instead to dig a bit deeper. I'll play the Misty Rainforest and then pass Huddle the Lily to respond. I mean, turn 4, 7 mana is good, so I'm happy with that. I mean, it's not great, but better than nothing, I suppose. So discard a land, deal 2 damage to any target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yes, we can devour the red and 6 or the seismic what? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Monument to Endurance Seismic Assault. A combination of cards I was not expecting. Huh. Draw a card, make a treasure, or opponent loses 3 life. So they can deal me 5 at the very least this turn. Yes, that is fine. I expected that to happen. So spawn down. They drew a card. Yes. Run in 6. We do need to deal with run in 6 at some point, I will admit. Because if they do get that emblem, it could prove to be an issue. Whenever discard a card, can it be at any point in time? Yeah, it can be. So they can trigger it multiple times. Interesting. Or I guess like one time per cycle. E-temp. And we'll get rid of Seismic Assault. No more pitching cards, please. Then we'll attack down Run in 6. Deals 2 damage. How many lands you got? Only 1. Okay. So Seismic Assault down. Street Wraith. I lose 3 life. You'll need to deal with a Monument to Endurance at some point, I feel. Imagine they're looking for a way to kill Devourer. Forgotten Cave. Huh. And pass. Another monument. That's concerning. Utopia Sprawl. Okay. That's mana neutral. Imagine they activate Run in 6. Pick up a land. Oh. That's cool. I hate it, but that's cool. Picks up the cave, activates double endurance, can deal me 6 damage. That's frightening. Draws a card, lose 3 life. I can do it again next turn as well. Yeesh. That is quite frightening. So we really need to get rid of Run in 6. Either that or get rid of what's in their yard. Firelit Thicket. A very expensive filter land for some reason. I think it's because it's never been reprinted. Pwn and Tinkin. Do you have another Seismic Assault? No. What do? Oh, life and then looting. Ooh. Draw 2, discard 2, trigger. So they can draw a card, make a treasure, and then cave. Oh, you trigger them both, that's right. Isn't whenever you... Interesting, it says whenever you discard a card, not whenever you discard 1 or more cards. Oh. That's a lot better than I thought. Okay, that's frightening. I think it's been maxed out for their turn, but they're going to be able to trigger it again next turn. Or rather, my turn. Ooh. So I'm going to take probably 6 damage on my turn at the very least. K-Return really ain't doing it. So what's our solution here? I'm not sure there is one. I think I just lose. Because, yeah, we can Null Drifter, but I don't think that's enough. They're going to pitch the cave and deal me 6. Pick up the cave. So my only out might be... Yeah, attacking Ren 6 I don't think actually does anything. Well, I can't actually let them have that emblem though either, so I'll hit it for 6. Is my only out a K return or K command? It might be. So I think I have to evoke here. Draw 2. Triggers. 3 life, 3 life. Yes. And bolt. Yeesh. Yeah, you got it. Okay. Seismic Assault Monument to Endurance. Was not expecting that, so classify this deck as Seismic Assault. Alright, lost for game 1. Let's move on to game 2, sideboard plan. It's an activated ability, so consigned to memory. I guess the monuments are triggered though. That's something to consider. The returns don't seem like they'll work well here. Yeah, we don't really have much for this matchup, I feel. Alright, well, hopefully the Consigns and the Haywire Might are enough. I really don't have anything for this matchup. On the play for game 2. I mean, it could be a turn 3 Myco Spawn, turn 4 Karn. But what makes this hand good is the question. It really would be a Malevolent Rumble into a Soul Land. That's kinda it. Let's mulligan this one. The commands are nice, but we can't use them unless we find a temple. Mulligan one more time. I'll keep this one. Drop a stomping, drop a command. Reveal Devourer. Actually, probably should have kept the stomping in retrospect. I will grab a Haywire Might. And pass. And pass. Yeah, I should have went stomping, tapped, then Misty, fetch, talisman, etc. And we really need another colorless source. Otherwise, this command devour are dead cards in hand. We also don't want to play this the Haywire Might into the open until we see a Monument or Seismic Assault on board. Otherwise, we're going to be pretty sad when they hit it with a Renin 6 or bolt it. Shock for Sprawl. Faithless Looting, that's fine. Imagine they life from the pitch of a life from the loam. That would be my guess. Again, I've said it like the last 2 videos, but always interesting to see what decks come out of this period of time. Depending whether or not we want to play Talisman, I think I do. Forest, fetch. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Let's go Stomping Ground, Shock. Oh, we do have a red source and a blue. Pass. And pass. Like I said, I probably should have kept the Stomping Grounds tapped and then land to fetch once. And wouldn't have the shock. So we'd be at, what, 19? Yeah. Forest and Utopia Sprawl for red. And run in 6. Yes. So, I mean, we can get rid of Utopia Sprawl and slow them down a turn. The thing we can do. Draw. Temp. Alternative is that we go command X equals 3. Otherwise, I can go command X equals 1, but I think we go command X equals 3. And then cast Devour, exile the Ren and 6, or if they play a Seismic Assault, exile that instead. I imagine they won't take that line down. Okay. Stomping Ground Shock. They have the Cave in hand. They cycle the Cave. They draw a card. They've played their land for turn. I will command X equals 3. So 1, 2, 3. No more lands for you, please. 'Tis not allowed. No legal targets. My turn. Wooded Foothills. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exile Ren and 6. Fetch for a forest. Cast Haywire-Mite. Haywire-Mite, exile Monument to Endurance, and pass. Alright, so we should be in a relatively good position now. Especially if they were land light and relying on Ren and 6. They still have 4, now 5 mana. There's Seismic Assault. They're just gonna pitch out? Really? Okay. Yeah. And a Rumble. Probably grabs Magus if I had to wager, I guess. Which I'm kind of okay with. Not the end of the world. Choose the Magus as expected. And draw. Commercial District, trigger. Ugin's Lab to grave. And we'll pass. And pass. Only downside is now I'll only have one colorless source, and I guess we still have red. So it only hurts me in the colorless source department for now. But I imagine they cast Magus. Faithless Looting a Flashback. Yeah. Pitching what? Mountain, Street Wraith, Wooded Foothill, and then fetch for a basic. No? Commercial District? Okay. I guess I'll sacrifice the spawn to cast the Magus then? Yes. Okay. Like I said, not the end of the world. Utopia Sprawl. We have blue, we have red. We could go black just so we have another colored source. Yeah, we'll go black. And pass. And pass. We'll take 2 from Magus. And paying cost for another monument. Less than ideal, but not the end of the world. Draw. Emrakul. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we need one more land. If the temple wasn't underneath the Magus, we'd have it. Down to 13. Seismic Assault. Draws a card. Ooh, that's concerning. I need to draw a card now. Actually, we lose 6, 9, we're down to 2, right? They played a land for turn. So yeah, I think if I control their turn, I think we win. So we need a land. Devourer will not do it, which means we lose because now they're going to life from the loam and pick up more lands and then kill me. So yes, we lose. Magus did in fact end up killing us. RIP. Yeah, I was not expecting the Magus. I guess I should have considered it as a potential option and brought in Dismember. That definitely would have been a better thought, probably than Consign in retrospect, but not exactly familiar with this deck, so it is what it is. That said, we'll be back for match 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. I'll keep. It's a bit slower than I'd like, I'll admit. Reveal Devourer, trigger. The Kozilek's command is tempting, so is the card. I think we could go for the command, though. I will imprint the Devourer or the Worldbreaker. Let's go Worldbreaker and pass. And pass. Ooh, hello. So this is Tron. It looks like metalwork or metalcraft. Everflowing Chalice. So this is the one using Clarion Fleshrake. Also could be, I guess, Dice Tron. Kicked once. All will target me. Well, Karn would have been good. I'll play the Gemstone Cavern, and what I'm going to hope to do now is to X1 into a Soul Land so we can kick a Myco Spawn. That would be ideal. Tron Land and... looks like we're going to end step. Command X equals 1, scry draw. Done. There's the soul land we were looking for. Another command. Imprint Devourer. I've come to realization. I don't have a green source. Whoops. Yeah, that is a slight problem now, ain't it? Well, I guess we'll hold up the command then. Let's see what they got. That's problematic. Inclino Tron. They do have 5 mana. 6 mana. It looks like Dice Tron, if I had to guess. This is Cornucopia. If I had to wager a bet, what, X3, right? Command X4. Okay. So now they scry draw. If I see a glaring flesh rake, we just exile. It looks like that ain't happening, so I go to end step. Command X4 as well. What I want is a card. No Karn, but a Ghost Quarter. Let's see, we have 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 10 minus 4. So I really don't want Temple. Rumble's intriguing. Well, there's KGC. Okay, so we can do a lot here then. Wooded Foothill. Fetch. For a Forest Stomping Ground, Breeding Pool. Don't really need red here. Blue would be nice theoretically. Actually, blue could be really interesting. Forest, though. I will kick. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get rid of the Urza Mine. And Pun scoops it up. We'll take it. So I feel like this is Dice Tron. I'm just going to put Tron for now, as we didn't see anything in specific to tell me it's Dice Tron, but I'm pretty certain. So I'll bring in Might and Consign and run it back. On the draw for game 2, we do have Gemstone, but we lack lands. I mean, we have 2 draws. Oh boy. I mean, 1 draw, we have what? 22? Something a bit better than 33%. Close, I think, like 40. I'll keep it. And exile Utopia Sprawl. Pass. So we are very much banking off of drawing into a land. Green source would be good. A soul land would be good. So a lot of good options off the top. But I'll take any land. Power plant. And pass, draw, land. Yeah. Better lucky than good. All right, Utopia Sprawl, we'll say for blue. Talisman of Impulse and pass. Next turn we have a Sowing Mycospawn. We can grab a Soul Land for a command. We draw into a soul land. We have a kicked Mycospawn. Patchwork. Interesting. Consign to memory. Cast the Sowing Mycospawn. And grab an Eldrazi Temple. And pass. And pass. So next time we have command X equals 4, as well as a consign that we can hold. Temple. So it's Eldrazi Tron. So maybe it's not Dice Tron. Interesting. There's the Glaring Flesh Rake. We want to get rid of that. Map. Okay. And we desperately need to get rid of Glaring Flesh Rake. That is a matter of fact. Draw. Talisman. So we need X equals 3. 1, 2, 3. Gets a bit tricky because it's No, I guess it's not difficult to hold up blue. We just hold up the gemstone, right? Yes. So I'm going to go command X equals 3, exile the Flesh Rake. And done. And we'll hold. Now they will get Tron this turn, not the end of the world. Because at the end of the day, they need to do something with it for it to matter. And that Glaring Flesh Rake with a Mystic Forge would have been an issue, but with the Glaring Flesh Rake gone, less of an issue. Mox Opal's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 11. We're too shy on the Emrakul. There's the map. There's a tower. And casting. Mystic Forge. I'm going to say no to that. Casts Consigned Memory. Do you want to replicate? I could, but I don't think it's necessary. It'll get bigger. In fact, blocking here would be okay by me. Scrolling Crawler. At the beginning of each upkeep, yeah, I'm okay with this. Draw me more cards? Thank you. Please attack. I'll snap block. Because that means I only need 1 land. I'm going to draw 2 as well. Draw another card. Oh no. Beginning of your upkeep, each player. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Yep. So I'll play the Talisman and pass. Draw. And Misty. Ah, we were 1 short. I'll delay respond. Saga trigger. An expedition map. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we can block with 2 spawns. Yes. We confirm one more time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So yes, I can block with 2 spawns. Go to blocks. And my turn. Trigger. Fetch with the Misty Rain. I'll go for Forest. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hello friends, it's Emrakul. You should fetch or crack that expedition map now. If you don't, I'll fail to find. So I guess we just crash the Patchwork. I guess we could crash the Scrawler as well. Might be the better play just to give them less card advantage because they need to dig themselves out of this scenario. Saga, Scrawler, trigger. There's KGC. KGC is a bit awkward. I mean, we can minus KGC immediately. So we could play KGC, we could minus KGC, but it only brings us down to 3, so it doesn't really do too much. We could always tick up on Opal, but that's not doing much either. Oh, I guess we haven't drawn yet. Hold on. Temple, okay. Yeah, Saga tries like trying to figure out why Saga hadn't triggered yet. So yeah, I mean, I think we just smash the scrawling trawler. At the same time, maybe it's helping me because it's drawing me into potential action to deal with this Karn, and also making it more difficult for them to manage bridge. That's a thought, but also will deal me damage. Let's go to combat. I'll tackle the scrawler. I'll block and then pass and pass. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The thing is, they're going to lock out two. So really, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so definitely going to play Karn into bridge, I'd imagine. Do they have enough? Yeah, they will. Yeah. So Karn to bridge is what I imagine will happen here. And then they'll go liquid metal coating and start stripping my lands. Yeah. There's KGC. Minus KGC for bridge. I guess maybe the upside of playing KGC minusing KGC is that way they wouldn't be able to minus it twice. Yeah, maybe. I guess the question is whether or not they have bridge. I'm assuming that they do. Really? They go for forge. That's surprising. There's forge. Huh. So that tells me they don't have bridge. Either that or they have a way to deal with Emrakul, which press X to doubt. At the same time, they have lethal on board if I attack. I guess we can attack KGC and then play Devourer. Not ideal, but is a thing I can do. Cake Man equals 2. Surprised they did that this turn. Why is there such a rush to do so? It's not like they can play anything else afterward. They play their land for turn. So I feel like holding the K command would have made more sense. Interesting. Exile. I guess you can draw a card with the Chromatic Star. That's exactly what they're doing. So they're trying to dig deep, but for what? No attacks, of course. And draw. Ghost Quarter. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We could turn off their Tron lands. Trying to think here if I can do anything. So of course we can kill KGC, play another Emrakul, but then what? So yeah, we'll attack KGC. Well, I guess... Oh, no, I have a better idea. We attack you. Yeah, let's attack you. I think this might be the better idea, as strange as this sounds. Because they showed me they likely don't play Ensnaring Brick. Bag of bricks. The entire reason I need to kill KGC is so they don't freaking lock down my talismans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, well, we're going to do this instead. Dumb as a bag of bricks I am. Yeah. You have a blocker. That's what matters. Yeah, in my mind, I was like, oh, well, I can take control, KGC plus on Forge, and with Forge, I can then attack into Emrakul is my thought process, forgetting that we had 2 mana locked behind KGC. So that was just a misplay on my part. Thankfully, the extra land did ensure that we could play the Devourer. I mean, if they don't win this turn, of course, we win. So, give and take there, I suppose. May have still been better for me to smack into KGC. Another Mystic Forge. Now they can exile 2 off top. Makes it harder for them to brick. Yeah. The thing is that, like, just the existence of the Mystic Forge makes my life difficult. It's like killing the KGC, slamming a Patchwork into an Emrakul. That would have been good in theory, but then what, right? What's the benefit thereafter? Finds a Paradox Engine. Ooh, I see. So yes, maybe killing KGC was correct. We may have been off more we can chew. So it's kind of like Dice Tron then? Because I could have sworn Dice Tron played Cornucopia with Paradox Engine. Huh. So whenever you cast a spell and tap all non-land permanents, you have Opal and Forge. I guess they would have gone to Karn anyways, question mark. There's a Mox Opal. So the idea here for them, I imagine, is just to get the construct big enough to kill me in one shot. Yes. And that would rely on them breaking off of Mystic Forge. So I think I lose here. Bottom line. Then again, they're at 5 life. So they can't dig too deep. Otherwise they just die. There's a Flesh Rake. Well, now we are in dire straits. As mentioned, map can shuffle instead of them exiling off top, down to 4. That's going to be close, down to 3. They have a shuffle of the map. There's Bauble. So it's going to trigger the Paradox Engine. They only have 2 more activations of Mystic Forge before they just die. But they also only need a few more cards in order to make this construct big enough to kill me. Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe casting the Emrakul to take control of their turn was still correct. Get rid of KGC. Activate Mystic Forge a few times, I guess. Attacking with the Patchwork. Block out the Emrakul. And then, I don't know. At that point, we'd still be in a bit of an awkward position. I guess they wouldn't have the Karn at that point in order to grab the Paradox Engine to go off, though it was very close to the top. So imagine they get there at some point. Because if I just saw land with the Mystic Forge, I'd probably just keep it there rather than exiling deeper down to 2. At least me attacking with Emrakul means that they were short mana. Or short mana, short life. Ugin. Huh. So now they can exile the top card or destroy target. Oh, they can just destroy... Is it colorless? Target print of that's 1 or more, funny. But they can exile the top of Ugin, so they don't have to activate the Forge. And And I'm going to force them to burn their clock here. They don't have a guaranteed win. But they should have enough to where they can make... Okay, the exile, because they don't want to activate the Forge. They probably play, like, what? 12 Tron lands plus 4 temples. So that's at least 16, but if I had to guess... 4 sagas, 20 lands. So at least 20 lands, maybe a little bit more. Is a K command? Yes, X equals 7. So that will deal me 8 damage, down to 1. They'll set up their next draw for a color spell, doesn't matter what. Cast it, and Flesh Rake will kill me as a result. Okay, so opponent did get there. I mean, realistically speaking, I think they already had it just off of the construct beats. Oh, down to 2. For example, I thought I was at 1. I mean, once again, they could just attack here and I'd be dead. So moot point. There's the Everflowing Chalice. And they got it. Yeah. Okay. So this is... like I said, it kind of feels like Dice Tron, but not. So it's Eldrazi Tron, kind of. Lost for game 2. The K returns are kind of interesting because it does very easily deal with like the Glaring Flesh Rake, which is something to be mindful of. At the same time, it's not really all too impactful outside of that context. So I think we just run it back as is. I guess in retrospect, I could have like gotten rid of a gemstone, got rid of a Bojuka Bog for 2 returns. I'll keep. So we are trying to top deck here. But I mean, we have some pretty significant amounts of ramp and a Devour trigger. Go Myco. Next turn I'll play Myco, not kicked, and then we'll be able to set up for a Drifter. Then draw 3. Opponent's Tinkin, Tower, Map, Pass, so probably Natural Tron. Forest, cast Sowing Myco Spawn. Grab Temple and pass. And pass. Second tower, interesting. There's the Patchwork. Draw. Well, we could just go kicked Myco Spawn at this point. Kick the Myco Spawn, Kavish on lands. Could go Ghost Quarter. That's a genuine thought. Right now I have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'd be short on Emrakul. Sanctum's also a good choice. I think I'll go Sanctum. Play Gemstone and go to combat. Then we can Null Drifter, draw 2, then Sanctum. Opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Alright, well, we'll be back for match 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. And the hand is good. I will keep. So we go Temple, Temple, Command, Bog into KGC most likely. This Sprawl is kind of dead. Triumph could mean... Let's go Breeding Pool, Shock, Sprawl for red. Only downside of this, opponent could go Leyline Binding to hit Sprawl, but if they do that, then am I upset by it? Probably not. If we do see a force here, it likely is going to be either Rainbow Rhinos or Rainbow Living End. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. If it is either, it's not the end of the world. So, okay, that tells me a lot about what we're playing against then. So we'll see if it's Living End or Rhinos. There's a Thundering Falls. If we see cycle creatures, then we know that it's Living End. If we don't, then we know it's probably Rhinos. And draw. Paying cost. That's fine. So actually this might be control. Okay, interesting. Hold up the blade to respond. Narset in response. I'd like to draw a card, please. Actually, do we want to? We'd still be able to draw a card even after Narset activates, because we haven't drawn a card this turn, so that's fine. But pause on end step, that way it doesn't inform their decision on what they pull here. Because next turn we can go KGC. There's a force, so no KGC. I guess we could play the KGC, right? And it just forces them to force. Done. World Breaker, bottom draw. Okay. Draw. So next turn we can play World Breaker regardless. Let's get this force out of hand. No force. KGC on board minus KGC. So we could go Liquid Metal Coating, force them to counter that. We could go Chalice X equals 1 to stop the orange chant. So we have a few options here. We could go Stone Brain for... Yes, we have a lot of options. We also could go Torpor Orb, funny enough, but I think I'll stick with a Liquid Metal Coating for now. And pass. And next turn, probably just get a threat on board in the way of a World Breaker. Narset, trying to find an orange chant, I'm sure. So we know that the last card they have was not a blue spell, otherwise I feel like they would have forced the KGC. Control. Is a Galvanic Discharge to hit the KGC. Steam Vent Shock. Rip. But that's okay. Paying cost for Tef. Oh, interesting. So it was. They just didn't want to force. Plus discharge KGC. Okay, interesting. Draw. Temp. And breaker. We don't want to play the Null Drift until Narset is off board. If we can help it. I'll get rid of the Triome and pass. 3, 10, 12. If they kill the breaker, funny enough, we'll be able to play the Emrakul. Next turn will probably... Okay, that's fine. I draw a card. Tune. If you counter the breaker, that's okay. Rumble. Get rid of your double blue. And the Jukabog, target you. Pass. So 7, 8, 10. Next turn we have Emrakul. They plus Tef. We can then get rid of Tef. And get rid of Narset. And then mess around with our hand. Yeah, bouncing the breaker was questionable. Tef plus, yep. Did you find a land, is the question. Gemstone, go to combat. Attack the Narset. I would like my Null Drifter, please. Narset down. I'm tempted just to play the Emrakul, to be honest. You know what we can do? We can bait out this force. Do we want to do that? Could bait out the force. Yeah, let's go ahead. There's the force. We see Tef. 2 unknowns. Play the gemstone. And time to cast a Null Drift. We have enough action here to keep our opponent at bay. Yeah, opponents use the right on the wall. That's a win for game 1. Let's move on to game 2. K returns, not really doing much of anything. At the same time, it does hit Solitude. Jailer's doing nothing. Liquid Metal's doing nothing. Trying to think. Consign would hit the Solitude triggers, I suppose. Haywire Might would be good if they go Ormchant Lock with Isochron Scepter. We also could just bring in Chalice and go Chalice 1 to get rid of Ormchant and tune the narrative, funny enough. This is another thought, I suppose. I mean, they have to kill us some way, right? So they're going to have creatures. The question is which creatures. So maybe we just keep the returns and just don't make any changes. Yeah, we'll just keep it as is. See, like, this is some of the instances where, like, a mystical dispute. That consigns so much better into the mirror, so... On the draw for game 2, we will definitely keep this. Gemstone, yes. Exile, Drifter, or Emrakul? I'm gonna say Drifter. And pass. Draw. Ugin Lab, Imprint, Emrakul, Malevolent Rumble. Well, actually, I'm going to... I wonder. We could use the command as a permission spell, because they do play Spell Snare. So yes, I'll use command as a permission spell instead. End step. Let's see if we get a counter spell. So command X equals 1. And done. Yes, perfect. So now we're force checking. No force. There's a Cavern of Souls. I do like me a Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. And next turn, if we can draw into a soul land, we're in a very good spot. Otherwise, we can just Drifter next turn. And they need a consign to memory. Hold up the ability to respond on the off chance it's relevant. Worst thing they could play here is likely a Narset, because then we wouldn't be able to draw off Drifter. Maybe an argument for me having played Drifter last turn. Yeah. But now that we have Cavern of Souls, it's going to make their life a lot harder. Still not sure if this is Days Undoing, Isochron Scepter, or Miracles version of Control. Just that it most certainly is Control. No land drop, wild. Well, I will draw 3, or draw 2. Imagine it was a draw 3 for 3, Jesus. Oof. So I did misplay there by not tapping blue here. Would I then go for green? Maybe not. We kind of want to hold this spawn. But no lands is pretty rough. 6 cards in yard now, so Emrakul just needs, what, 7? 7 mana total. We can play Karn next turn. Obviously that's going to be... Opponent. No, no. So now we need to hope... What is that? Is that a Path Exile? Huh. Okay. Interesting. Oh, that was going to be an orange chant. So now we need to hope that they don't have a force. So hopefully no force check here. And again, we would like a soul land. Soul land would also go Breaker, Breaker, Exile, Isochron. I think opponent might have a Solitude in hand as well. They're thinking about exiling this Eldrazi spawn. That's my suspicion, at least, is that's what's happening. Why not just pass? Draw. Talisman. I mean, we could play Talisman and then play Karn, but I think we just play Karn here. Tis a KGC. Force check. No force. No red sources, so I'm not as worried about something like a what's it called? Galvanic Discharge. At the same time, we really don't want this Isochron Scepter to exist. We could always grab Might. I think I just plus Karn here, because keeping that Scepter locked is probably the best thing we could do. And pass. And I will hold up the ability to respond on off chance they Galvanic Discharge this Eldrazi spawn. Unlikely, but not outside the realm possibility. Revealed. So they will get a red source here. Could also grab a white source, I suppose. Of course, white source would allow them to orange chant. There's the Hollow Fountain Shock. And I imagine we see an orange chant if I had to guess. No, orange chant. In that case, I'll play a Talisman. I'll play a Rumble. Really? I'll grab a Verdant Catacombs. Play Verdant Catacombs. Minusing Karn here doesn't seem like the worst idea. The question then is for what? Opponent's gonna scoop. We'll take the win. Alright. We'll be back for match 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. We'll keep it. It's not great, not horrible, just okay. Allows us to rumble on turn 2. We can talisman on turn 2, command on turn 2. So, I mean, we have options. We have options. There's a world where I might want to play the temple. That way we can potentially draw into a soul land. But that's a high bar, so I think I do go Bojuka Bog. Oh, I guess we can't rumble. Yeah, so we can't rumble turn 2. I'm not sure if I said that, but we can definitely temple, or rather talisman. Oh, Bojuka Bog, target you. Pass. And pass. Question of the day, do we command Lotus Bloom? Okay, so it's Belcher. So in Mycospawn. Okay. So we will play Talisman. Pass. Next turn we're going to Mycospawn, not kick, grab Ghost Quarters. That seems right to me. At the same time, this Lotus Bloom is a bit concerning because even if we are able to strip them of land, they still have 6 mana off these blooms. So I'm not sure if Ghost Quarters is right. If maybe trying to get something else is better. I think I'll start with a Rumble. I'm playing around a Jawari Disruption. I'll grab a Null Drifter or Talisman. I mean, I'll be able to Mycospawn. Like, we could go Talisman, sure. We also could go Mycospawn, so let's grab Drift. Cast the Mycospawn. Yeah, let's cast Mycospawn and grab Ghost Quarter. You can Jawari Disruption the body, that's fine. Ghost Quarter. There's the Jawari Disruption. Do I want to counter this? Or rather, pay the one? I could. What's the downside of doing so? Well, 3 mana, I guess, for a whir. But they're already going to have 6 off the bloom, so what's the point? Yeah, I mean, I don't win here by just beating them in face, so that's fine. No. Also gets a land out of hand, which I think is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to upkeep. Go to draw. What I need is a KGC. Ghost Quarter, the Plaza, and pass. Nullify nothing. Sporadic Springs. Blagi. Finding. Probably the Shoal. Tezzeret. Interesting. Huh. Yeah. Grab the Tezzeret. Land. Okay. So I think the best thing that I can do here then is try and dig for Karn. Done. No Karn there. There's an Emrakul if we don't lose, but what are the chances of us not losing is the question, and I feel like those chances are pretty slim. Bottom, draw. There we go. Better lucky than good. Minus KGC, yes. And we'll just go Chalice of the Void. Chalice of the Void, X equals 0, and pass. No Lotus Blooms for you. They go to graveyard, please. And then next turn we can Stone Brain for whatchamacallit? Goblin Char Belcher. Bone's gonna scoop it up. We'll take it. Win for game 1. Let's move on to game 2. Sideboard, we will take out the returns. Dismember's kinda relevant. Jailer is good to stop the Lotus Blooms, as well as to stop the Tameshi loop. Actually, no, it's not, because Tameshi says return, not cast, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it says return. Let me confirm that. Tameshi. Return, yes. So how does this read again? Permanent cards in graveyards can't enter. Okay, it still works. Consign to Memory is a thought, though. Otherwise, Haywire Might's good early. But Juka Bog is okay. Counter Souls is good. Gemstone's good. Ghost Quarter's good. But Juka Bog is kind of like fringe. It is okay. It's not great. It's not horrible. It relies on the Lotus Blooms being in the graveyard to exile, right? So maybe we do cut the Bog for like a consign. No, maybe not. Yeah, maybe just keep it like this. Bring in the Might, bring in 2 Jailers. Alternatively, we could bring in 2 Jailers, cut the Might, cut the Bog, 2 Consign instead. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. That way we can always grab the Might with Karn. Could also argue bringing the 3rd Jailer, I suppose, because Karn can always grab Chalice. Another thought. On the draw for game 2. Let's see what our opening hand looks like. Opening hand is slow. Very slow, in fact. I'll mulligan. I'll keep. Pitch the Sprawl. Yeah, either pitch the Sprawl or pitch the Emrakul. We'll pitch the Emrakul. Reveal the Devourer and pass. The reason why I want to keep the Sprawl is if we do find a green source, then I can go green, Utopia Sprawl, hold up Consign. Otherwise, we find a command that would be good. No green source, though. Yeesh. So I think we exile all. If that gemstone was just a little bit earlier, I will exile all and draw. Another temple. Well, I do like many temples, but I will need to do something at some point, and right now we can do basically nothing. Draw. Rumble. Yeesh. Pass. Yeah, we have a lot of good top decks right now, but we're not seeing them. So I really need a blue source would be good, a green source would be good. We have a lot of good options. Okay, well, maybe I should have specified that I needed an untapped green source, but, you know, we'll play it. Lab to grave. And we pass and hope we don't just die on the spot, because it's very possible that we do. There's a whir. So yeah, I think we just die on the spot. Oofda. Yeah, we dug 5 deep, drew multiple cards, and just could not find it. There's the Goblin Char Belch. Yep. You got it. Oof. Yeah, like Talisman worked there. Untapped green source sort of worked there. So much could have been in our favor, but variance said no. Consign to memory. Soulless Jailer. Shall I go on? I'll cut the gemstone. And I suppose maybe, yeah, bring in the 3rd Jailer. Might be worth it. Either that or bring the Might. Might, though, is only good if they just put in the Char Belch, right? So yeah, I think the 3rd Jailer is right. On the play for game 3, we will keep. I'll reveal. I will grab a KGC. Lab, imprint, Emrakul, cast, Jailer, pass. So no Lotus Blooms for you. Okay. So do you have something for the Jailer? Play Temple, pass. Question is, do we go Mycospawn or Karn? I think we do go Karn next turn to avoid a Jawari disruption. They play Jawar, not Jawari, Archaeologist, Trainer. Okay, that works out. We get to see what it is and actually goes into revealed zone. Whir does get around Jailer. Draw. Command. So, I mean, if we play KGC here and I don't have a Commandeer, I might want to play Mycospawn first. Just because that way I can have a body on board in case they do attempt a Commandeer. The next question is whether or not I go Temple or if I go Ghost Quarter. Let's go Ghost Quarter, though they likely now have a mountain in their deck. That is an instant. I will pass. Trigger. Draw. Ghost Quarter. Pass. No mountain. That's shocking. Normally they run one on the side now. Weird. There's a lab. Taps 2. Flaji. Pulls a land. Pulls a Seagate. Okay. Draw. Double command is interesting to me. I will play Karn the Great Creator, see if you have a Commandeer. You do not have a Commandeer. I'll minus KGC. We already have a Soulish Jailer on board, so we already have one lock piece in the way of KGC, one lock piece in the form of Jailer as it cuts off the Lotus Bloom loop. I think at this point we just go with the Stone Brain and pass. So next turn we'll just get rid of Belcher entirely. If you were to somehow play Belcher instead, then we can always Haywire Might it. So moot point there. And pass. Nice thing about Jailer is that it does remain in exile. It cannot be cast from exile, so it never goes to the graveyard, which means no Tameshi. So now they need a way to deal with Karn, Jailer's Stonebrain. Draw. Another KGC. Well, I think I just go Stonebrain. Sink the Stupor. Stonebrain. I mean, Sink could have gotten rid of Karn, but they couldn't risk that, I suppose. I'll tick up with KGC and pass. Maybe there's an argument for me having -4 of Haywire Might But it would take a lot for them to be able to bounce KGC and Jailer here. Yeah. So even if they play Char Belcher, we can then just minus Karn for the Might. Otherwise, we kind of just hold the board state as is. Yeah, because then we can exile the Charbelcher from Yard, and then Stonebrain Charbelcher out. So we should be fine. I don't foresee a way of them getting out of this, but I could be incorrect. I could pull some shenanigans. I was thinking hard here. Because even if they had, was it Flood Maw? It wouldn't be enough. Draw. An Ugin Lab. Ugin Lab trigger. Stonebrain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Target you. Aiming Goblin. Goblin. Charbelcher. Another sink. Flagy, 3 Whirs. Amiria's Call, I guess, is something they would be able to use in conjunction with Tameshi. Yeah, but I think we're good. Just X on the Charbelch. And then I could just minus KGC again to exile more, right? We could just exile the Whir of Invention. Does that really do much? We are able to exile Tameshi right now if that comes down to it. So I think we just minus Karn for next turn. And grab a Liquid Metal Coating. We'll pass as is. So you can whir if you want, though you probably need to sink in the Stupor KGC first. Whir. I guess no, you would whir first, then sink next turn. Yeah. Okay. So now you can sink, pitch back Karn. It doesn't do as much as you probably would hope. I guess maybe going for Stonebrain may have not been a bad idea, because then we could just grab Whir of Invention and there would be no way for them to really get Lotus Bloom on the field. Archaeologist. There's Tezzeret, so I imagine they grab Tezzeret. But as it stands, they're definitely in a bit of a bind. You know every card in hand. Really? Oh, I'll just do this. X equals 3. Oh, I didn't realize they had a Jwari Disruption. Minus, or no. So I guess I must have counted this a second time. Oh, because the first Whir was from Trainer. Ew. Interesting. Okay. KGC plus on Bloom. Play a Temple. Play a Liquid Metal. Go to Upkeep. And target land. I guess maybe it would have been better to target land instead. And we got there. Alright. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't see any Commandeer. It's normally, at least it was a mainstay in the sideboard of Belcher previously, but I guess maybe not anymore. With that being said, we'll be back for match 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. I will keep. So let's do it like this. I will reveal. I will trigger. Grab K command. Imprint, cast, and pass. And pass. Okay, it looks like Affinity. Draw. Wooded Foothills. Fetch. For a forest. And blue. And hold. Darksteel Citadel. Lava Spare Boots, okay. Could be an Emery. We'll likely play Breaker next turn to get rid of a bridge. Sure enough, there is an Emery. Put a pause on end step. A Bobble. And command X equals 2. Done. Well, sorry to say, opponent, but you're not going to be happy with what I just drew. Temple. So let's confirm 2-4, leaving 2-4-5. Actually, we can do some fun things here if I hold up that blue, right? Am I going to be short 1? 1, 2, 3. I need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, I should have enough. So let's make sure we hold the blue. Okay, GC. And if you don't scoop, you're definitely going to want to after this. Yep. Yeah, because then we could minus for Torpor Orb, and then evoke Null Drifter, draw 2. Like I said, I don't think Torpor Orb is that great into Blink right now. However, it has some fringe use in the matchup, but this deck specifically uses it really well in combination with the Null Drifter. Win for game 1. Let's move to game 2. Return is good. Dismember is good. Might's good. Jailer also seems some decent value. Like, we could go to Jailer as it stops Emery, but that's kind of the only thing it stops, and it's not exactly trying to loop value, though, I mean, Emery plus Bobble, very good value, right? Drawing 2 cards a turn is, you know, surprisingly good. If we were to do it like this, what would we cut? Ghost Quarters, kind of bad. Bajuga Bog is good. Cavern's good. Yeah, so we can't exactly have everything. Maybe cut some number of returns. But even then, we'd still need to cut one more thing. So maybe... returns or jailers? Returns or jailers? I think we go return. And a split like this. Yes. Okay, that's fine. On the draw for game 2, this hand looks good. I will reveal and pass. Bobble Bobble Opal. Emery. Tamiyo. Okay. Trigger. Command. Yes. Fetch. Shock. For... Oh, did we exile the breeding pool? We did. So, Stomping Grounds. Shock. Sprawl. For blue. And pass. And pass. So Tamiyo will flip if they activate all baubles. They choose not to. I guess they'll still flip if they have a land, which it doesn't look like they do unless they're just waiting to play it, which is possible. Tamiyo flipping is a bit of an issue. I guess the only land that would come into play on tap would be a Darksteel Citadel, funny enough. So maybe Double Bauble was right, but then I guess Opal wouldn't be able to tap, so never mind. Portable Hole, rude. There's the Citadel. So they chose not to flip the Tamiyo. Interesting. I will... Go to end step. Do I want to go to end step? I think I'm a bit fearful of a Metallic Rebuke, so I'm going to do this now. Goodbye, Tamiyo. Oh, Tamiyo, flip for you. And pass. I'd like a land off top if possible. Otherwise, I'll go Talisman next turn. Tamiyo, take 2. Opal. And then, do they want to crack the clue? They chose not to. Interesting. Ugin Lab. Imprint and Emrakul. 2, 3, 4, 5, or yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're short 1. If they do have a Metallic Rebuke, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll attempt to resolve KGC. Yeah, there's a Metallic Rebuke. Okay. No, and pass. Attack with Tamiyo. Make a clue. No blocks. I'd like a land. Thought Monitor. Yep. Draw 2. Trigger Tamiyo. Even more reason to want to land now so I can get rid of Tamiyo. Saga. They want Breaker, actually. Yeah, I think we want Breaker. Oof, Jesus Christ. So many things I don't want them to have now. Draw. That's good. So we can go Breaker, Exile, Saga. We can go Devour, Exile, Tamiyo. I will not play the Talisman out of the... Oh, no, they don't actually have anything, so that's fine. So I'll play the Talisman. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Would mean we sacrifice the spawn. That's fine, though. Yeah, so I'll go Breaker here first. And exile the Saga. Do not want Saga Construct tokens here right now. Tamiyo can grab the Metallic Rebuke or the Voyage Home. That's fine if so. Emery, of course, can grab a Bauble. Or I guess a Portable Home if they really want. Or Portable Hole, not Home. Regardless, Devourer will exile something. Emrakul's also coming up quick as well. We're 2, 3 off of Emrakul. 2 if I bring back the hand. So if they counter the Devourer, it's not a bad thing for me. Huh. 2, 4, 5, 6. Land would be nice. That way we can hold up the Emrakul. 1 card. What could that 1 card be? Oh, they actually can't play the Voyage Home, can they? They're missing out on a colored source. Though I guess Emery can grab Opal, align them to do so. Is that what they did? Yes, that is what they did. So white, Emery, Opal, blue, Voyage Home. Yeah, makes sense. It would make sense. Draw a card. Why they not play Voyage Home? Confusion. Draw. Rumble. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could play Rumble here. And Rumble. There's Null Drifter. Let me confirm. 1, 5, 6, 7. Yes, Null Drift. And I'm going to... We could Devour, exile Tamiyo. We could Null Drift, draw 2. And either ways, we're sweeping the board unless they have a consign to memory. Which actually could be relevant. Though they'd only be able to consign a trigger. So if we go Devour, target Emery. And triggers, we'll go to exile the Emery. Just in case they have the consign. Because we know they have the Voyage Home. We don't know what else they have, right? Because they drew some cards. They might be a little bit confused when I'm targeting the Emery, but specifically the play around a consign. Because they can counter the return, but not both the return and the trigger. And this at least guarantees that I should be able to kill all relevant creatures on board. Because if they counter the Devour trigger, Emery still dies. Yes. And go to combat. We'll take out the Tamiyo. Paying cost for blue. Hey, look at that. We played around the triggers. Or played around the consign. I know what the hell I'm doing. Tamiyo down and pass. Get a clue. Draw a card. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take it. Alright, that's a solid league right there. 4-1 at the end of 5. Only 1 loss to Seismic Assault, which, again, I love seeing some off-meta decks towards a BNR. It always makes things a bit interesting. We are now, what, less than a week out from the BNR? I think it's next Monday, so it's going to be interesting to see what the meta looks like. I've kind of taken a quick pause on all my primer work, because I feel like a lot of it's going to be for naught, because I feel like this deck's going to change, the meta's going to change, just so much about the modern format's going to change off of just one ban alone in the way of Grinding Station, but also possibly off the unbanning of other cards if Wizards feels generous. Like, imagine, what could they unban? I mean, they could unban so many things, but it's going to be interesting. I'm interested to hear across the next few videos what you guys think of the BNR, what you think is going to get banned. I'm thinking the only thing in Modern, at the very least, is going to be Underworld Breach. What things could get unbanned, or what you'd like to see unbanned, whether it is reasonable or unreasonable. I know my ask is always going to be, give me back my Mycosynth Lattice. Again, my reasoning behind that, and don't burn me at the stake for it, my reason behind it is, if you have Karn and are able to play a Mycosynth Lattice on the same turn, or even in sequential turns, and your opponent has nothing on the board, they are already going to lose. The Mycosynth Lattice just sealed the deal. That's just my opinion, but regardless. That said, as always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It is much appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me in both my successes and my failures, I hope that I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, folks, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye!